What's up, guys? It's Chachipower here to do a review on the Thundercats Classic Lion-O. This is the 6-inch version, not the 8-inch version. It's immediately apparent because of his face sculpt. It's got a nice little growly face. So basically, Thundercats are roaring back in action. These highly detailed and articulated figures are based on the classic 1980s animated Thundercats series. So I picked this guy up about 2 days ago. I was pretty happy. Wasn't expecting at all to run into this. I knew they were due out very soon. Didn't expect it to be that soon in my area, but did want to show you the box. The box looks like a standard classics box. You know, it's got the logo up top, the classic logo. It's got the little plastic tray with the accessories. Obviously, Lion-O is not in there because I have them out of the box. And it's got the little screen Lion-O, which I noticed ended up appearing later on in the 8-inch classic series. Some of them didn't have that screen print there. Later ones did. The back, obviously the cross-selling, which you got the 6-inch classic Mumra, which I'll be doing a review of very soon. And you get the 3 6-inch figures that are out. I just got Chachipower the other day. Tiger, I'm not sure if he's even out, or he's probably out, just have not seen him. And the back here shows Lion-O, talks a little bit about Thundercats there. And yeah, so let's get started with the figure. Okay, so here he is again. Again, 6-inch scale figure, or 6-inch tall figure. Very nice. Looks like the other 8-inch classic. Pretty much the same thing. I'm going to do a comparison in just a second. But just take a second to you know, take it all in and see how nice the sculpt is. And we're going to go over a couple things. So like I said, nice sculpt. It is a highly articulated figure. If this is your first time seeing one of these Thundercats reviews, you may be pleasantly surprised, but if you're following these figures, it's just the norm. So we're going to start off with the top of the head. You just only get side-to-side action. There's no ball joint. The shoulders are very well articulated. You got a little bicep swivel there. You get the elbow. And then you do have the wrist action going on over here. You notice the claw does spin around his wrist. And you do have this action here, which is really nice. I love that they put the articulation there. And this is probably the only piece that really bothers me, aside from something else which is glaringly obvious. It's the way these hips just pop out to the sides, kind of womanly, but somehow it still manages to look somewhat cool. But you know, if they could have squeezed that in a bit more or done something else with it, would have been nice. Anyway, you got the legs here swivel this way, you got the thigh swivel here, you got the double jointed knee, which gets really bony when you fold it there. Then move down from the knee, and this part here swivels. Then you got the ankles, which move this way here and swivel this way. Now, that's the other part that bothers me. You would think they've read the complaints, unless they were already working on this, which I doubt. I think this was just in response to people thinking the 8-inch figures were too big of a scale. But they didn't bother to do anything with the ankles. And the only thing I could think of is that since most of this figure is molded, if not all of it is molded in this orange and then just painted over, you know, it's probably much more cost effective to them to run the molds off of these little ankles along with everything else. But it still doesn't explain why they couldn't at least paint them. So I don't know. I really don't know what to say about that. If you guys out there are familiar with the other stuff Bandai does, they have a line of figures called the SH Figuarts, which are very highly posable figures. They're also mighty expensive compared to this. So if you're complaining about 15 bucks for this, don't even bother looking at the SH Figuarts. But a lot of that technology carries over into these lower end figures, which lower end does not necessarily mean not as good. But these are, you know, a lot more mass-produced than the SH Figuarts, hence the lower price. Definitely high-quality stuff here. I do have one of the accessories here. You got the Sword of Omens right here with the Eye of Thundera there, and the claw with the little jewels on there. And the claw is a nice like goldish metallic plastic, which looks really nice. Now I'd like to get into the rest of the accessories. You'll see that he does have the gauntlet claw there, and I did show you that the little sword comes out, and he also does have the larger version, which I'll show you guys in a second. But basically you can have him just chilling like this with the claw, and you can also take the claw off. It just pops right off this little ball joint. Put one of these alternate hands. He's got two more besides this one, and you can actually go ahead and, just like the 8-inch version, clip this to the side here and pop the claw onto that ball joint here, and there you go. Just have it chilling off to the side there. Now Lionel does come with two other hands. This one you're not going to want to use if you want to hold the sword, so you're going to want to pop that off. Pop one of these bad boys on. Make sure it's for the right hand. There you go. Pop this on, mess with it a little bit, and there you go. So he can go around sword slashing, or when he wants to get big and badass, just pop that sword off and put this one on. So there you go. And he's able to even hold it in front of his face. Just have to fiddle with it, you know, just like the cartoon. Now the problem I have with this sword, aside from this little weird QC issue here, I tried to just take that little thing there off, but it's really just peeling up the blue plastic underneath. So this was molded in this blue plastic, which, if you think about it, I just told you guys about, you know, that he's molded all in one color. This clip here is molded in blue. Why could they not just mold these little elbows or ankles out of the same blue? It wouldn't be a perfect match, but it match a hell of a lot more than flesh-toned ankles. So yeah, what else was I going to show you guys? Oh, we were talking about the sword. So, check this out. It's a nice sculpted sword, nice little Thundercats logo, very nice. But it does this. And like, I don't know if you guys have the other figures that you display, or any figure with the PVC sword. Obviously this is so idiot kids don't poke their eyes out, because, you know, when it comes down to it, these are technically catered to kids, even though kids don't really know much about the older Thundercats. It's mostly adults buying this, but, you know, just for those kids out there that might poke an eye out, they make these. And, you know, really, you can, I mean, if you just jab your friend with this one, even the soft one, I'm sure it's going to hurt. Probably not as bad as having a stiff plastic sword. But anyway, it kind of kills it. It looks cool this way, looks retarded that way, and when you start posing these on a shelf, after a while I come back to the figure and this is what's going on. It's just like all limp, which looks really stupid. So that's why I don't bother with the swords. I display mine with the claw on, and the you know, the sword right in here in this little spot that holds it, which I thought was a really, really neat addition to this, which is, you know, also available with the 8-inch. And speaking of the 8-inch, we are going to do a comparison side by side. Alright guys, so here side by side with the 8-inch. So there is the difference between an 8 and a 6-inch. You'll see it's just really a smaller size, but you'll notice that little complaint I have with the hips here is not so prevalent on this figure. This is a lot more proportionate. You know, as a matter of fact, this figure looks awesome on its own, but when you put it next to the 8-inch, you can definitely see one is, in my opinion, more proportionate, a little more muscular, just overall better looking. But, you know, again, some people complain about the 8-inch size. I love it. But again, I do love the 6-inch also. It's an excellent figure. Both of these are excellent figures, so I recommend both. But we're going to take a look at the head sculpt here. You remember in the articulation I was showing you on this head only moves side to side. The Lionel here has the bottom of the neck and the top of the head, which is articulated. But as far as the sculpt, let me hold them a little bit closer together. You'll see this one's a tad angrier. He does have a weird piece of plastic sticking on his chin, which kind of bothers me. But another thing that bothers me, guys, I don't know about you guys, but why is it like nearly impossible or at least really difficult to find these Bandai Lino figures with eyes that are not crooked. Like, you'll see this eye is like way up compared to the other one. Like, whoever's doing the tampo printing needs to stop drinking. I did manage to find this one, and I was all over the place. Like, and this one's kind of off too. You'll notice it's always his right eye. And, you know, this was the one that didn't bother me that much. You'll notice it's not too bad. But if you really try and compare, like, the yellow spots on the eyes, you'll see that it is a little weird. But this one here is a really up-close look. But I got it anyway. It was the only freaking one at the store. And it's probably the only one I'll ever find, because that's just how it is around here. Alright guys, so that brings us to the end of this review. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments on this figure, or if there's something I missed, just please let me know. And stay tuned for Mum-Ra Classic, Chitara, a bunch of other stuff, whatever I find. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And that's pretty much it, guys. So take it easy. Bye.